Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe if you are enjoying what you are hearing. Now, on to today's story. Caught my wife cheating on me with her boss who happens to be a celebrity. Just like that, my whole life is gone. Need support. Her and I have been married for 6 years now but have been together for 15 years. We have one son. We are a gay couple and I never knew she was into men until this happened. I feel like I don't know who she even is anymore. She's not aware that I found out. I'm still not emotionally strong enough for any confrontation right now. I haven't seen her in nearly 4 days. She's not coming home until Friday because of important business matters, but I now know that it was a made-up lie too. She's probably with her boss enjoying being rich and successful. I only found out because all of our phone data synced when I updated my phone and the messages were just there. I can't get it out of my head. I never saw a reason to be suspicious of her because I trusted her so much. We have been together since we were young and she has never done me wrong. I feel so blindsided. I have no one to talk to because she is still my wife after all, and I don't want to hear anyone talk bad about her. I certainly know that this is no longer going to work out. She left me for a man, not another woman, a man. I can appreciate a good-looking man when I see one, and he's definitely one of them. I can't compete with him. He's richer and more successful than me. I've seen him in movies and shows and have met him in real life. He is someone I used to hold so much respect for. I have never felt so disrespected in my life. I don't know where I went wrong. It was all so perfect, just like we had planned. We promised our son a good family and she ruined that for him. He is the only one keeping me sane right now. If it weren't for him, I would have done something reckless already. She makes more money than me, and divorce is going to cost so much. I'm still deciding whether I want to do that right now or not. Perhaps she wants one too. I need to talk to her, but if I do then it becomes real and I'm not ready to face it yet. I don't know what to do. I'm so lost. I'm too old to start over again. What woman would want me at this age? And if they did, it'll never be the same connection as I had with her. I failed myself and my son. He shouldn't have to deal with the consequences of her actions and my failure. He didn't ask to be brought into this world. We made a choice and a promise. It didn't get us anywhere. I'm planning to seek therapy and see a lawyer for advice, but right now I really just need a friend. It's okay. It's all right. Sometimes the worst things happen to the best of people without any explainable reason, and only the strongest of us all get to endure the consequences of such. It's gonna get better, trust me, but the night is darkest before dawn. Hold on tight. I have you in my prayers. Stop blaming yourself for her infidelity. I feel like I did something wrong for her to be able to do this to our family. No. Some people are just excellent liars and deceivers. You need to focus on your own well-being right now. With your spouse out on important business, you should be focusing on getting the divorce in order, because there is no coming back from this. Despite what others might say, forgiving a cheater is close to impossible, and it never ends up being the same afterwards. I wish you all the strength to get through this, and I hope you find some peace in your heart, and a little spot for someone new who deserves your love. Good luck. This is so true. Google how to fire your wife PDF, read the entire PDF, start the process. It is going to be one of the hardest things you ever had to do, but it is for the best reference to help you get through this. If she was a grown-up about anything making her unhappy, she would have communicated it to you. Exactly. The worst part is that Op is going to be blaming herself, wondering where she went wrong, when it all started, why it all started. None of that really matters. It may give her a peace of mind because until she knows all the answers, she will try to fill in the blanks herself. Yet, those answers are pointless. The fact of the matter is that Op's partner decided at some point that the relationship is no longer a priority, and that lying and cheating are now acceptable. People like that deserve nothing more than a big duck you, and goodbye. Nothing more. Do not blame yourself. Cheaters make a conscious decision, and they know the consequences. Your wife knew you trusted her enough to never think anything, and she would continue living her life while you're oblivious. There's a reason those texts popped up. It's time for you to see your worth, and it's so much more than what you're giving yourself. You're never too old to start over, and your child will eventually understand, but it's up to you to keep it as normal as possible for your child. You are absolutely right, they didn't ask to be brought into this world, but by keeping it calm and simple, the child will not think it's as bad as it really is. Do not blame yourself. You didn't put a gun to her head and make her do this. You did nothing wrong, and even if she says you weren't there for me, you did this or didn't do that, it doesn't matter, but she is placing blame on you for a decision she made. You could be the worst wife ever and she's still wrong. BC, you don't cheat, you just leave. You are worth so much more than you know. It's going to be so hard and you will hit rock bottom, but you'll make it back out. I did. My child thanks me every day that her dad and I finally ended it. Everything happens for a reason, whether you believe it or not, and that phone sync, yeah. Good luck, Op. No, you did not. No marriage is perfect, not yours, not mine, not anyone's. But the decision to cheat was 100% hers. Did she ask your permission? Did she ask her sons? No, she did this herself. If she had emotional competence, she would have either understood her work fling was highly destructive and destined for nowhere. Or she could have approached you to talk about her feelings, misgivings, whatever. But she didn't. This is on her. See a lawyer first and a therapist second. All the best. Cheating is selfish, and has nothing to do with you. She was fulfilling some personal need that she had that she wasn't getting in the relationship. You can't beat yourself up about that, as it's not your fault. You can't be 100% providing every need for another person, it's not possible. If she was missing something, she should have talked to you about it first before cheating. She is just a selfish person, that's it. Agree. Not sure how partners who make these types of approaches get out of marriage. I wish I can know what happens in mind and how the liars make up different excuses and plans to continue doing this. Hope to find some reading material to understand their minds. Sorry to hear about the situation, hope things will get better soon. You did absolutely nothing wrong. You were a faithful partner in this thing called life, and if she couldn't appreciate you, someone else will, trust me. You didn't do anything wrong, she monkey branched, she's likely caught up in the person being famous and the kind of life it will give her. Cheaters are selfish and scarily able to lie and fool people. You didn't even have a clue until you found out. Don't blame yourself, she has likely cheated on you before too. Because that's just what they do. She monkey branched exactly. It is in your best interest to accept that she has monkey branched and start moving on. You should start planning what you will do once she tells you that she no longer loves you and moves in with him. Untangle your finances, and decide how to split property. Start gathering all important documents and valuable jewelry and put them in a safety deposit box in another bank. Open new accounts at this new bank in your name only and start depositing your paychecks in that new account. Protect yourself from that time when she leaves you. And some wonderful woman will be so lucky to find you once you are free of this cheater. Make plans to get yourself out there and meet the women who are looking for a loving and loyal woman like you. No, you probably did a lot of things right, trusted, offered her the benefit of the doubt, didn't make unfounded accusations, focused on building your life together while not constantly questioning whether it was valid to do so. These are the normal activities responsible people in committed relationships get up to. What made this possible was her choices. Not just one or two, but a repeated and systematic undermining of all that made your relationship authentic and meaningful. You were debating what color curtains to hang while she was tunneling under the foundations of your relationship. You can't be a rational, trusting, healthy and functional person and simultaneously be paranoid and suspicious of everything your partner is doing, which monitoring a subversive cheater would require. She's high on a fantasy. End of story. In your case, the material side of the equation is a little more concrete in terms of celebrity and wealth, but the reality is no more viable for her than any of the people's exes on this sub who end up in a dilapidated trailer. Money just makes the fantasy shinier. Meeting someone new doesn't change who you are. Doesn't fix the broken parts of you or undo the mistakes you make. It's just running further from those truths. You thought you found someone who was taking that journey with you as an equal. Unfortunately, that was not the case. This does not mean that you are alone. You are part of a new community that frankly none of us would ever have chosen to join prior to experiencing infidelity. Hooray! But we are here as much as some internet dweebs can be. I really hope that none of this sounds harsh. I'm not trying to be hard on you during an already difficult time, and truly please take care of you and understand you will need to grieve and cope in many different ways in the coming weeks. But 3 years after the fact, I realize most of the mistakes I made in the breakup centered around giving my ex even more tolerance and understanding when she was clearly demonstrating that she would never do the same for me. I didn't want to have to protect myself from her. I didn't want that to be my reality. And in avoiding it, I didn't get things like important evidence I could have used to better make a case against her. There's still a lot of love and goodness in the world, even if that seems a complete impossibility now. It just might not have been where you wanted it to be. Take care of yourself and your son. Trust the good friends and family you can, and don't be afraid to seek their support when you are ready. I have to add to the pile of don't blame yourself. Please keep in mind that infidelity is about the cheater and what they are going through, and is not because of anything you did. You did not let down your family. She did. That's bullshit. She is probably under the fog of getting attention from a celebrity. Believe it or not, that sort of dynamic is very attractive for a lot of people. You didn't do anything to deserve this. The reasons she had to cheat on you have probably nothing to do with you. Also, it's highly likely that the guy have no serious intentions with her. He is married with kids, so she is nothing more than a diversion in his life. You should divorce and move on. Staying for the kids doesn't make sense. Also, you should inform that celebrity wife about it. She deserves to know? Even if you did do something, so long as it isn't abuse, then no one deserves this. You did nothing wrong. You are not to blame. She chose to be deceitful. That's a super normal feeling to have in the aftermath of her actions, and I think it's especially common in same-sex partnerships. It's hard for us to see our partners betray us for another gender, because it causes us to second-guess what we're able to provide, at least in my experience. It's going to take some time for you to stop blaming yourself. A good therapist will help. It's one thing to say out loud it's not my fault, and it's another thing to fully believe it. I'm so sorry she did this. Therapy and a lawyer are good first steps, and I also think it won't hurt to look for a family therapist that specializes in LGBTQ+ relationships and infidelity-based separations and divorces, since there's a kiddo involved. I also want to address your feelings of being too old to find love like this again. I know that right now, you're in the thick of it and fighting your way through a huge mire of hopelessness. But I've seen people in our community bounce back from things like this in their 50s, 60s, and even 70s, find a partner who's an even better fit for them than they ever imagined, and find happiness and trust again with another person. It's okay if you can't imagine that right now. It's okay if you can't conceive of that right now. But someday, you'll be standing on the other side of this. It's a platitude, but it's true. The only way out is through. It is not your fault, and please don't feel that way. The problem with cheating is that your spouse is not thinking about you. People never cheat because of the partners, it's entirely a personal choice. Sorry you had to go through this. It truly sucks. I failed myself and my son. No. That's all on her and only her. She means the world to our son so much. He's too young to find out what's going on. When my parents divorced, it ruined half of my childhood. This is unfortunately the consequence of her selfishness. If she tries, don't let her minimize what she does when you confront her. She needs to know the pain she caused, but you also need to make sure she has consequences for her crappy behavior. That's the fragility of relationships. Even if you put your head in the sand and let it go, your life would still be forever changed. I'm sorry you've found this pain, but it's good you have found support. I know you want to blame yourself. Really, it's easier to accept it if there's a reason you were betrayed. However, there isn't one, and any she gives will be unsatisfactory and hollow. This is unfortunately a universal truth. My favorite analogy: it's like a dog rolling in the mud. They do it because it's dirty and it's fun, not because there's a reason for it. Even if the dirt will put them at risk for a heat stroke. Even if they are risking an infection. It's about the fun of it, and the risk. That's it. There's nothing for you to shoulder. The sooner you let go of the idea you failed in some way, the sooner you can do damage control. Most of my friends' parents went through divorce, my neighbors went through it, hell, my parents might do it. But the one thing they all did is make sure their kids knew why. Hiding won't help. I think you should let your son know. What if the children don't understand, or deceptive cheaters who can lie also lies to children that they have no faults? Good chance they won't understand. All you can do is show them the evidence and make sure they understand that this isn't their fault, even if it is. Won't pretend being a parent is easy. I'm not one yet. The boy here is 6, no chance he will get it. But remaining calm and staying strong for a bit will help them to understand. Not right away, but eventually. Just understand that you are in a very powerful position. Most betrayed do not get the benefit of discovering the truth before the cheater is revealed. Knowledge is power. You know, and she doesn't know that you know. You will never be so in control of the situation. Once you confront, the whole situation will disintegrate and be out of your control. You need to carefully consider every single aspect. Every one. You need to have an end game in mind. It might be out of her control too. Having the benefit of the sexual services of someone who is married to another is exciting. The sneaky, cheating sex. Exciting. Having her on his case 24/7. Maybe not quite so exciting. When this all blows up. If he decides that he doesn't want to be tied to her, she might also lose her job. Different financial scenario altogether. Bide your time. Gather your evidence. Golden rule. Never confront unless you have rock solid proof and can prove it. Second to this. Don't put everything that you have out at once. Little bit. Catch her in a lie. Then a little bit more. Good luck, heart. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Have an awesome day or night. Wherever you are.